There is a terrifying paradox at the heart of your existence. You feel real. You feel permanent. You feel like a singular entity traveling through time, looking out from behind your eyes, navigating a world that is separate from you. You believe that when this body fails, this ghost in the machine will simply float away to find a new home, like a traveler changing hotels. But what if that feeling is the greatest lie ever told? What if the continuity you experience is not a solid line, but a rapid fire illusion? A magic trick of the mind performed so quickly that you never see the gap between the frames. Welcome to the most subtle and dangerous misunderstanding in spiritual history, the difference between reincarnation and rebirth. To the untrained eye, they look identical, life after death. But to the awakened mind, the difference is the abyss between bondage and liberation. Today, we are not just discussing philosophy. We are dismantling the architecture of your ego to reveal the fluid, electric, and infinite stream of consciousness that is actually running the show. We are going to look directly into the face of death, not with fear, but with the cold precision of a diamond cutter. In the vast lexicon of Buddhist thought, the concept of rebirth, or punabhava, is the master key. It offers a view of continuity that defies our ordinary logic. It is not about a soul, a fixed spectral entity, packing its bags and moving to another biological vessel. That is the comforting fairy tale we tell ourselves to sleep at night. Buddhism proposes something far more radical, far more scientific, and far more awe-inspiring. It speaks of an ongoing flow of experience, a relentless process of change and interconnectedness that never pauses, not even for a microsecond. This interconnectedness is born from the law of dependent origination, or Pakasamupta. This is the code of the matrix. It teaches us that nothing, absolutely nothing, exists in isolation. All things arise because of a complex, invisible web of conditions and actions. Imagine a spider's web the size of the universe. If you touch a single strand on the outer edge, the vibration travels to the center and affects the entire structure. A thought you have today ripples out to change the cosmos of your tomorrow. A microscopic change in one area rearranges the architecture of everything else. This radical interconnection is the bedrock of the Buddhist perspective on existence. We are addicted to the idea of the self. We view ourselves as statues made of marble, weathered by time, perhaps, but essentially unchanged. I am the same me I was at 5 years old, we think. Buddhism raises a mirror to this delusion and shatters it. It presents a different understanding. It does not speak of a soul. It speaks of a stream of consciousness, the Citta-Santana. Visualize a river. From the bank, it looks like a single, solid object through the river. But if you step into it, you realize there is no river. There is only water flowing, rushing, tumbling. The water at your ankles now is not the water that was there a second ago. The shape of the river is defined by the riverbed, the rocks, the gravity, and the rain. It is a process, not a thing. This is you. You are not a noun, you are a verb. This stream is composed of intricate parts. There is Citta, the mind, the base awareness that illuminates reality. There are Citta-Santana, the mental factors, the emotional colors that dye the water of your mind: greed, love, anger, wisdom. And then there is Vijnana, the sharp consciousness that recognizes an object, that says this is a flower, this is pain. The stream of consciousness is not a fixed identity. It is a wave in the ocean, energy moving through water, distinct for a moment, but inseparable from the sea. So, if there is no driver in the car, what moves from life to life? What propels this wave? Our actions, our words, and our silent secret thoughts create what Buddhists call karma. But we must strip away the Western superstition around this word. Karma is not a cosmic judge sitting on a cloud, handing out gold stars or lightning bolts. Karma is physics. It is a natural law of cause and effect, as impartial as gravity. It is the imprint of our intentions. Every time you act with intention, you are pressing a seal into soft wax. You leave a potential, a seed, in the depth of your mind. This karmic energy is potent. It shapes your future experiences just as a genetic code shapes a body. A seed does not look like a tree, yet the giant oak is folded inside that tiny shell. Consider the mechanics of the mind. Someone who is habitually kind, generous, and open is literally rewiring their consciousness. They are building tendencies toward well-being. Conversely, someone who indulges in cruelty, who feeds on bitterness, is weaving a cocoon of suffering. To understand this viscerally, think of a person you know who is addicted to criticism. They have spent decades complaining, seeing the flaw in every jewel. They are trapped in a hell realm of their own making, right here on Earth. But then, imagine that person encounters the Dharma. They learn about the machinery of karma. They stop. They observe. They realize they are the architect of their own nightmare. Through the difficult, grinding practice of kindness, patience, and compassion, they begin to change their habits. As their actions shift, their reality shifts. The world literally looks different to them. This transformation proves that we shape our karmic stream. Buddhism explains that is this process, this momentum of habit and energy that moves from one life to the next, not a static person. This brings us to the most challenging concept for the ego to swallow, anatta, or no, self. The self we cling to, the I that demands to be loved, feared, and remembered, is a concept. It is a collection of fleeting experiences, a mirage shimmering on the desert road. From a distance, the water looks real. You can almost taste it. But as you approach, it vanishes. It was never there. The Buddha declared with absolute clarity, there is no permanent soul that is reborn. There is only the flow of consciousness. The misunderstanding of the grasping at this illusion is the root cause of all suffering. To truly grasp the magnitude of the Buddha's discovery, we must contrast it with the other great spiritual traditions of humanity. The concept of life continuing beyond death is a recurring anthem across history, usually manifesting as reincarnation. But watch closely, for the distinction is in the fine print. In early Hinduism, the concept of Atman is the sun around which the galaxy orbits. The Atman is the true essence, the unchanging, eternal core of the individual. It is described as a spark of the divine, a fragment of God residing in the chest of every being. In this view, reincarnation is transmigration. It is the Atman shedding a worn-out body like an old coat and putting on a new one. The actor remains the same, only the costume changes. The ultimate goal here is to break the cycle of samsara and have the Atman reunite with Brahman, the ultimate reality, achieving moksha. It is a beautiful, romantic vision of a soul's long journey home. Ancient Greek philosophy echoed this melody. Plato, the giant of Western thought, posited an immortal soul distinct from the physical body, a soul that existed before birth Earth and survives death. He viewed reincarnation as a pedagogical process. The soul, originally perfect, falls into the heavy, sticky world of matter. It undergoes a series of lives to purify itself, to wash away the ignorance of the flesh, and to regain its wings through philosophy and reason. Similarly, the Sikh tradition speaks of the Atman, a divine spark. It views reincarnation as a continuous cycle where the Atman moves from form to form, driven by the actions of the current life, until it merges back into God, a state called mukti. In all these traditions, despite their differences, there is a common denominator, the container. They all believe in a stable, unchanging essence, a soul that carries the memories and identity. It is a thing that moves. This is where the Buddha draws a line in the sand with a diamond blade. He points not to a permanent thing, but to a flow of energy, a continuity of process, not of entity. Rebirth, as taught by the Buddha, completely rejects the passenger in the vehicle. It offers a continuity grounded in impermanence. The doctrine of Anatta is not just philosophy, it is a description of reality at the quantum level. Anatta does not deny that tomorrow follows today. It denies that the you of tomorrow is the same entity as the you of today. What continues is a constantly changing stream of consciousness, conditioned by causes and actions. It is a flux, a fire, a torrent. It cannot be pinned down. This difference changes everything about how we understand suffering. In soul-based traditions, suffering is a foreign substance attached to the soul, dirt on a diamond. In Buddhism, suffering arises because we try to hold on to the flow, because we try to freeze the wave. We suffer because we demand permanence in a universe that is fundamentally fluid. Liberation, therefore, is not purifying the soul. It is waking up to the fact that there was never a soul to begin with. It is the relief of unclamping the fist. The ancient text, the Milindapanha, clarifies this with the metaphor of the flame. Imagine a candle burning in the darkness. You use that candle to light a second candle. Did the flame move? Is the flame on the second candle the same flame as the first? No. But is it totally different? No. The first flame caused the second. There is a continuity of heat and light, a transfer of energy, but no physical substance traveled from wick to wick. This is rebirth. One life lights the next. The energy transfers, the momentum continues, the karma propels the process forward. But no person travels across the gap. Consider the mango tree. A mango seed is buried in the earth. It sprouts, grows into a tree, and bears a sweet fruit. In that fruit, there is a new seed. Is the seed in the fruit the same seed that was buried years ago? Absolutely not. That original seed rotted and vanished. Yet, without that original seed, the new seed would not exist. The new seed carries the genetic potential, the essence, the karma of the ancestor, but it is a new iteration. The stream of consciousness carries the potential for future experiences, but it is not a self moving to the next stage. So, if there is no soul, what actually happens when you die? Let us slow down time and look at the mechanics of death through the lens of a Bodhidharma, the higher Buddhist psychology. Death is not a blackout. It is a high-velocity transfer of data. It is the end of one set of experiences and the immediate ignition of another. The process is driven by the karmic energy you have accumulated every second of your life. The precise moment of death involves a consciousness known as the Cuti-Citta. This is the final flicker of mind in this lifespan. It is the last frame of the movie. Immediately following this, without a gap, arises the Citta-Santana, the linking consciousness. This is the spark that ignites the new existence. This linking consciousness is not random. It is mathematically determined by your karma. It is the sum total of your habits, your loves, your hates, and your last thought. This karmic force drives the stream of consciousness into a new womb, a new egg, or a new state of being. The 5 aggregates that make up you, your physical form, your feelings, your perceptions, your mental formations, and your consciousness, are shattered at death. The body returns to the elements. The senses shut down, but the momentum remains. The thirst for existence remains. The Buddha explained in the Citta-Santana that consciousness depends on conditions. When the I meets a form, I consciousness arises. When the body dies, the physical base breaks, but the craving for being propels the mind toward a new base. This linking consciousness grabs hold of a new existence within one of the various realms. And these realms are not just fairy tales. They are psychological frequencies that can solidify into worlds. They are states of being determined by the quality of your mind. There is the realm of sense desire. This is where we live, along with the hells, the hungry ghosts, the animals, and the lower heavens. The hells are realms of pure projection of hatred and fear, a nightmare from which you cannot wake. The animal realm is marked by instinct, survival, and ignorance, a life driven solely by hunger and procreation. The realm of hungry ghosts, the Pretas, is filled with beings who have giant stomachs and needle-thin throats, symbolizing a mind consumed by craving that can never be satisfied. The Azura realms are filled with power, hungry beings, addicted to conflict and comparison, and the human realm a rare and precious balance of pleasure and pain, the perfect laboratory for awakening. Above us, in the realm of sense desire, are the 6 heavenly realms. These are filled with immense pleasure, beauty, and long life. But beware, they are a golden trap. The pleasure is so intoxicating that beings there forget to practice. They burn through their good karma, like a trust fund kid spending their inheritance, only to fall back down when the account is empty. Beyond these are the realms of form and the formless realms. These are high-frequency states reached through deep meditation. In the realm of form, sense desire is gone. There is only the bliss of pure focus. In the formless realm, even the body is gone. There is only pure, abstract consciousness. But even these godlike states are impermanent. Even here, the law of change applies. Why does any of this matter to you, sitting here, breathing alive? Because understanding rebirth changes how you live now. It is not about obsessing over where you will be in the next life. It is about realizing that you are being reborn every single second. Modern science, with its exploration of neuroplasticity, is finally catching up to the Buddha. We know now that the brain is not fixed. Every thought rewires the synapses. Every time you choose patience over anger, you are physically altering the structure of your brain. You are birthing a new you in the next moment. From a Buddhist perspective, the goal is not to secure a VIP suit in a heavenly realm. The goal is to step off the wheel entirely. The goal is to see the machinery of cause and effect so clearly that you stop feeding it the fuel of ignorance. When you understand that your actions have consequences that echo across eons, you stop living carelessly. You realize that karma is not a theory. It is the gravity of your soul. You take responsibility for every thought, every word. You cultivate wisdom and compassion not to be good, but because it is the only sane way to navigate an innate universe built on interconnection. Meditation is the laboratory where you verify this. You don't take the Buddha's word for it. You sit. You watch the breath. You watch the thoughts arise and vanish. You see directly that there is no solid thinker behind the thoughts. There is just thinking. There is just feeling. You witness the birth and death of the ego thousands of times in a single hour. This is the practice of dying before you die. There are stories, of course, of people recalling past lives' children speaking languages they never learned, pointing out old homes. While intriguing, the Buddha warned against getting lost in this spiritual entertainment. In the Malunkyaputta Sutta, he scolded a monk who was obsessed with metaphysical speculation. He told him, "If you are shot with a poison arrow, do you ask who shot it? What wood the arrow is made of? And who made the feathers? No, you pull out the arrow. The arrow is suffering. The practice is the removal. Understanding rebirth is not about fantasy. It is about the radical transformation of who you are right now. It is about uprooting the illusion of the self so that you can finally be free. It is about realizing that you are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop, flowing, changing, eternal in your impermanence. So, as you walk through your life, remember you are a lantern lighting the next lantern. Make your flame bright. Make your flame steady. Because the light you cultivate today is the only light you will have when the darkness of death arrives. And if you look closely, deeply, into that flame, you might just realize there is no one holding the candle. And in that realization, you are free.